The Twilight Zone. What a series. Synonymous with Rod Serling. But it almost wasn't. I can explain. Paul here. Hey, please subscribe if you would. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a journey through a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into the strange and wild tale of how the Twilight Zone almost had a different narrator. Yeah. Imagine, if you will, a world where Rod Serling wasn't the voice guiding us through the eerie and the extraordinary. Yeah, it almost happened. Picture this. The year was 1959. Producers of The Twilight Zone are on the hunt for the perfect narrator. Enter Cornelius Westbrook Van Voorhis. Huh? A man with a name so grand it sounds like he should be narrating the history of the British monarchy. Not a sci-fi anthology series. Known for his work on the March of Time, Van Voorhis had a voice that could make a grocery list sound like a declaration of war. And that's not always a good thing. But alas, his narration was deemed too pompous for the show's mysterious and suspenseful tone. The producers decided that his voice was more voice of doom than voice of the Twilight Zone. But wait. The plot thickens. Enter Orson Welles, the legendary filmmaker and narrator. The producers thought, who better to narrate tales of the bizarre than the man who once convinced America that Martians were invading? But there was a catch. Welles had a price tag, and it was a biggie. Big price for his talent. The network, perhaps envisioning their budget disappearing into another dimension, decided that Welles was, well, too expensive. With options dwindling and time ticking away like a very special clock, who should step up to the microphone but Rod Serling himself? Now, Serling was a writer, not a performer. In fact, he had no intention of appearing on camera. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and Serling volunteered his services. The producers, perhaps envisioning a future where they wouldn't have to sell their souls to afford Orson Welles, agreed to give him a shot. And so Rod Serling, with his distinctive voice, his ever-present cigarette, became the iconic character we know and love, the narrator. Yeah, since he's become really the one and only person truly associated with the show. At least he's the first person you think of, for sure. His narration wasn't just a voiceover, it was an invitation to explore the unknown, a guide through the corridors of the mind. Serling's voice became synonymous with the show, leading us into the fifth dimension with every episode. So next time you watch The Twilight Zone, remember the almost narrators who could have been. Imagine the alternate universe where Van Voorhis' booming voice or Welles' dramatic tones guided you through the mysteries. I can't do it. But in this dimension, it's Serling's voice that echoes through time, reminding us that sometimes the best stories come from the most unexpected places. So yeah, when I see what was on that wing, find out it's a cookbook, or realize that a pig-faced person can be a real beauty, I want to hear about it from Rod Serling. What are your thoughts? Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you. And welcome back from the Twilight Zone. Oh!